We all love the instant color and beauty we find at our local garden center when the weather breaks and the sun starts to shine each spring. What we often don't realize is how long of a journey these plants have already been on in order to be ready to show their colors at just the right time. Annual flowers either commence from germinating seeds or from taking cuttings off of what are referred to as stock plants. These stock plants are often maintained and harvested in the preferable climates of places like Mexico, Central America, and parts of Africa. Today, we want to follow the path of a geranium from start to finish. At Lucas Greenhouses, geranium cuttings are brought in via temperature-controlled transportation weekly from Mexico starting in the month of December. These plants are unpacked and separated in a cooler before being sent to a planting line where they will be stuck one by one into fortise plugs formulated specifically to optimize root growth. After coming off the planting line, these newly planted geraniums are then placed in the greenhouse where they will be under mist for the next 12 to 14 days. After 2 weeks, you can see the roots beginning to show around the outside of the plug. At the 3-week mark, the roots are even more developed. And at 4 weeks after planting, the geranium should be fully rooted out and ready for their next home. Either this next home will be away from our greenhouse to another grower, or they will find their way back onto one of our planting lines in order to be transplanted into various size containers, pots, or baskets like these traditional 10-inch baskets. Now heading back into the greenhouse, these baskets will be cared for by a team of growers who will follow carefully crafted crop plans for each different type of plant found in their growing range. They will also need to monitor important levels such as water pH, while also scouting for any insect or disease issues. While geraniums are not one of these plants, some types of plants require a pinch a few weeks after transplant to help encourage proper branching and growth. All plants will need to be respaced at some point to allow for proper airflow around the plant as it begins to fill out. The time from being transplanted to being retail ready can vary depending on desired final size, growing conditions, and of course weather. In the case of our geranium baskets, it is typically about 8 weeks from when we transplant rooted geranium plugs into the basket until they reach the stage where they are ready to ship to our customers. This means from the time the initial cutting arrives at our facility, there is at least a 3-month growing process ahead of it until it reaches your local garden center.